אילולי תורתך השועי אז עבדתי ואני לולי תורתך השועי אז עבדתי ואני. So Bezrat Hashem, this Parsha, Parashat Beshalach, we finish and complete Yetziat Mitzrayim. And it's interesting to see the concept of water goes throughout the beginning of Sefer Shemot. If we look at the beginning of Galut Mitzrayim, Paro says, Kol haben hayilod hayeora tashlichu. Paro says, the way I'm going to destroy Am Yisrael, the way I'm going to fight against Am Yisrael, is every single child born will be thrown into the water. And Hashem repeats back to him that the first makkah that he brings to Am Yisrael, to Mitzrayim, is makat dam in the water. He looks and reflects back to Paro and he says, I understand that you fight against Am Yisrael in water. The beginning of my war against you will be in the water. And to continue this concept of water, we see also that Paro says, Li ye'ori ve'ani asitini. Paro has this emphasis that he wants to say that the ye'or is mine, the water is mine. So we see that the concept of water goes throughout Yetziat Mitzrayim. But if we look in the Makot, the first Makkah is Makat Dam. And some people think the last Makkah is Makat Bechorot. But we see in Parashat Beshalach, the ending of Yetziat Mitzrayim also finishes in the water. It also finishes in Kriyat Yamsuf. So the beginning and the end of Yetziat Mitzrayim is about the concept of water. Now if we go into Parashat Beshalach, we know that the most unique part of the parasha is Shirat Hayam, the song they sing on the water. And even in that Shirah, we see that before we have Kriyat Yamsuf, and after the Shirah, we have the parasha of Ma'im Marim. So the Shirah stands also in between two places of water. And what I want to try to do through the Sefat Emet is understand what is the Shirah really about. And if we understand the Shirah, then we can understand the Ma'im. And both these ideas and concepts connect to each other to understand the idea of Yetziat Mitzrayim. So says the Sefat Emet in the year 1890, Be'inyan HaShirah, what is the Shirah all about? And he says, Yesh parshiyot miyuchadin legalut. There are special parashot for galut. Lachen hi stuma. Says the Sefat Emet, we know the beginning of Mitzrayim started in Parashat Vayechi. And Parashat Vayechi was a parashat stuma. There was no separation between Parashat Vayigash and Parashat Vayechi, what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. So the Galut is about Satum. Aval kmo ken yesh parshiyot miyuchadin legeula v'cherut. This is the same way there is a parasha specifically for Galut, which is Satum, there is a parasha that is special for Geulah, which is all open. And if we look in the Torah, what makes Shirat Hayam unique is that every 2-3 words there's a separation. Meaning there are so many little parashot within Shirat Hayam. Shirat Hayam is the exact contrary of Parashat Vayechi. If Parashat Vayechi was about there's no separation, then Shirat Hayam in Beshalach is about there is not only one separation or 2 separations, there is so many Ariach al Gabei Levena. Everywhere you look in the Sefer Torah, you'll see Revachim. You'll see separations in between the words. So why? Says the Sefat Emet, Lama hafsakot. So he says, Liten revach lihitbonen ben parasha leparasha. Why is there a separation between every few words? Because it gives me the ability to look beyond the words. The words are not what's important. What's important is what's beyond, what's over, what we can't see. And he says, incredible, the Geulatan shel Israel oseh roshem b'Torah. He says there's only one place we see so many separations. When Am Yisrael were Nig'al. He says, what does this teach us? The Am Yisrael make a roshem. They make a difference in the Torah. And so he says there are 2 kinds of parashot. Parashat Vayechi is a parasha where all I could see is what my eyes show me. Paro says, Li ye'ori v'ani asitini, because the definition of galut is you cannot see beyond. Paro says, I will make the work harder so that they will not be able to see more. That's what galut does. It cuts you, it prevents you, it stops you. And it ends in Shirat Hayam, where Shirat Hayam is all about the ability not to see what your eyes could see, but to see beyond. That's the power of Am Yisrael. So, to conclude the idea of the Sefat Emet, the idea of the Shirah is the ability that we can see more. We can see beyond than what our eyes teach us or show us. So how does this connect to water? What's the kesher between Kriyat Yamsuf, Mei Mara, and in the middle, Shirat Hayam? So if we go back to the creation of the world, we'll see that in Breshit Perek Bet, Pasuk Hey, it says, V'kol siach hasadeh terem yiyeh ba'aretz. Nothing is growing. Nothing is coming out of the ground. And the Torah says there are 2 reasons. Ki lo hemtir Hashem Elokim al haaretz. There's no rain. Ve'adam ayin la'avod et ha'adama. There are 2 things that are preventing the world from growing, from coming out from the ground. 1, mind. 2, Adam. But I think in the deepest level, they're both the same. Because if we think about the water, it's an incredible concept to think about. Mayim, all it does is it goes into the ground and it brings the potential, something unseen, out from the ground into reality. The concept of mayim, the idea of mikvah, is what is the tehara in the mikvah? If you look at someone in the minute before he went into the mikvah and the minute after he left the mikvah, you'll see no difference in the outer physical being of the person. But the mayim is saying to you, the true tahara is the ability not to see what there is, because the mayim does not show you anything different. All it says is, could you understand there's more about you than what you could see at this moment? So how does the mayim connect to the idea of the Shira. We said the Sefat Emet explains that the idea of the Shira is that Am Yisrael make a Roshem in the Torah. And what do? They show that man's ability is, he is the one only person that could see more than what he sees at this specific moment. That's the Shira. And why is the Mayim what creates the Shira? Because the Mayim is the same thing where it comes and it says there's potential and we could bring the potential out. The potential is not something you see. It's not something you see at every moment of your life. But that the potential is something that if you believe in, changes your entire life. If you think about it, I think there are many moments in my personal shirim that I give over, in the ordeals I go through in my life, that in the physical aspect, when I finish my shir, when I finish the day, I messed up in certain things. And then I sit there with my wife, and she says to me, I know who you are, I know what you are. What is the true ahava that my wife is teaching me? That the whole world knows you for who you are, that's it. But the people that love you could see more than just the person that's sitting in front of them. Paro says the galut is about not letting people see beyond, not letting people believe in their potential, not letting people think that there's more than what I see at this specific moment. And the true Geulah, the true nigun of Yetziat Mitzrayim, is this understanding that you have to believe in your potential. You have to believe that there's more than what people tell you who you are. And I think just one small story. At the age of 16, I was in a program called Machach Ba'aretz. And me and my friend were sitting in the Beit Midrash together and we're learning. And suddenly my friend runs into the Beit Midrash, grabs my hand, and he takes me outside. And he says, Yair, look at the mountains over there. What do you see? So I say to him, Noam, I see trees, rocks. Why are you so excited? He says, Yair, can't you see all those soldiers that stood here 20, 30, 40 years ago? Can't you see them? And the truth is that in my physical eyes at that moment, I couldn't see them. But what makes Eretz Yisrael what Eretz Yisrael is? What makes Eretz Yisrael the land of Geulah? That when you go to the Kotel, it's just rocks. When you walk around in Eretz Yisrael, there are plenty of places in the world that the physical beauty is better. But there is nowhere in the world that has so many stories, so many deeper concepts behind every stone and every rock and every tree. And so I think that the idea of the true Geulah is not just let's leave Mitzrayim, but we leave Mitzrayim to learn a new way of living. A new way of living that comes to say, don't let anyone judge you only according to the way they see you at the specific moment in the physical reality. Don't let Mitzrayim consume you. Don't let Mitzrayim hold your potential and prevent you from knowing where you could go. So our bracha is that we should know that we have a Roshem on the Torah. That we could make a difference in the Torah. The Torah, the words separate from each other in the Shira because we have so much to give to the world. And that's the first message God says to Am Yisrael. You're leaving Mitzrayim so that you're capable to know that you have true potential. Believe in that potential so much that if you believe in it enough, you'll be able to use it so that the Torah changes, the world changes. And every time we understand the idea of Geshem, the idea of this need to uplift things from under the ground to bring them out to the reality, will also be zocha in our lives to take the potential we have and bring it into every aspect of our lives. Shabbat Shalom.